Got a second strike on the second account here. They went back and found one of my first few videos of this channel. Something about the virus. Oh, he said that. Oh, okay. I went back and watched the video. I'm like, nah. Appeal it. Explain why I'm appealing it. Hey, listen. Sorry, we looked at your appeal. No, you're getting 2 strikes. 2 strikes, 3. Now we're sharing the same dream. When I was a kid, I thought that song said that, like, Jew strike 3. Jew strike 3. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't know the word Jew. You know, it just sounded like it. Caribbean Queen. Now we're sharing the same dream. I heard Jew strike 3. What the this I got it. I got in here. I go, do I even know how to operate this shit right now? Like, is my XSplit broadcaster, turn that on. YouTube. Where's that? Where do I go to get the thing? YouTube. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, click on that. Okay, yeah. All right. What? We're going on 3 weeks now, son. I got a strike for 2 weeks. Well, Joe, if you got a strike for 2 weeks, why aren't you posting it after 2 weeks? Why are you waiting the 3rd week? Because Jew strike 3. Now we're sharing the same dream. We did a little vacation. Family vacation. And it happened at the very end of March. And I go, well, we're leaving in a couple days anyways. We're going to go to New Mexico. And go through there. Stop for a little bit. Go to Las Vegas, Nevada. Which... I'm driving. We're almost to Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm just, you know, after the 222 stuff, you know, you're looking at license plates. This kind of naturally happens. And then sometimes, you know, it's something like just kind of pulls you. You look over there and like, oh, yeah, there's the 222. Oh, there's a 789 in there. 789222. Oh. Spirit, are you giving me the roulette numbers? Start looking at the cars all around me. 3 lanes of traffic. The one came out strong. Okay, yep. Oh, there's a 789 in that one. There's a 22 in that one. There's a 7 and 8 in that one. There. Okay. I think I'm getting roulette numbers. So we get into the hotel, and I'll tell you the backstory of the hotel. We went to a place in Georgia early last year. And it was a Hilton. And to be quite honest with you, it was... I don't know if it was a Hilton or just Jabroni Hotel by Hilton. Very Jabroni Hotel. Very. I would be shocked to have that name Paris Hilton, or not Paris, but Hilton on there. Nonetheless, that was it. Well, my wife got a thing from them. Oh, hey, how would you like a half-price hotel room for 3 days, 4 nights, whatever it was, or 4 days, 3 nights in Las Vegas. So my wife's like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty cheap. Think we should do it?" I go, "Yeah, well, we have to go right away." No, we got a year to go. Oh, yeah, why not? Let's do it. So sign us up, and there's like this little fine print thing somewhere. You agree to go on the hotel tour. Okay, we're going to go on a Hilton in Las Vegas tour. That's how we get the cheap price? Fine. Okay. So, I get the numbers on the license plates. We're almost to Las Vegas, the hotel. And I'd asked her before this. I said, what is the tour? She goes, well, I don't really know. I go, you should probably call and ask. Yeah, maybe I should. What's the tour? The tour is a timeshare.
Got that a little wrong.
I got it wrong.
Yeah, whenever they gave us that deal for for the price, they didn't say anything about a tour or anything.
Oh, when they gave us the deal, they never said anything about a tour.
It wasn't until I called to book the hotel.
It was okay, yeah. So you do the deal, you pay for it.
Yeah. 'Cause I didn't
Then you
know.
have to call or do it online or something. Call the hotel. Hey, we'd like to reserve this time space
Yeah.
from this special deal we paid for, 7 months ago. Oh, okay. These dates are available. Okay. By the way, what time do you want to do your tour?
Yeah, that's how it was.
I'm sorry, what tour? Yeah, you got to go on a little special tour. And I'm like, well, you need to ask a little bit more about that. Oh, yeah, it's a timeshare. Like to rent a house? No. Not the house timeshare. This is a more modern timeshare, new and improved timeshare system. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to hear this. It's, you buy a hotel package from the Hilton group, or whatever chain runs that, for an exorbitant amount of money. And that gives you access with points, depending on what level you buy, the more points you get that you can use every year. Or they accumulate if you don't use them. And those points act as like cash to go buy or rent a hotel room all over the world, anywhere that Hilton has their hotels or their affiliates or whatever. Really, really cheap. Cheap because you're using points that you accumulated every year. And it might be 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, 5 days. The lowest package was a few days. And if you use all your points, or you gave some of your points away to some friends and family, you need to still go out and rent something, go get a hotel room, you get really cheap hotel rates. Okay? When's the last time I went on a family vacation? We kind of do like a 3-day weekend thing. Okay. So we almost never go. Long story short, you're buying the ability to use these points as if you're buying a piece of property somehow. And the one package was, he's like, well, I go on vacation a lot, the guys tell me. And, I've got this package. Well, that package is like, I don't even know, $90,000?
$129,000.
$129,000. But I think he got it when it was cheaper. Right? Yeah. It's now $129, but I think when he got in several years ago, it was like $90. And he uses it for his kids. His kids use the points. He can gift the points. He can reserve a room for someone else. It just doesn't even matter. And I'm going, okay, we don't really go on vacation. What's the lowest package? Well, that's the $9,000 package. And in all the packages, you have to pay like an HOA fee, a maintenance fee every year, which ranges $1,200, $1,400. Not sure how high it goes, depending on the package, but it's $1,200 to $1,400 a year. So $100-something a month. Every single year, every month, it never goes away. So you're doing the maintenance thing on there, and you got to have the ownership part. So it's $8,000 or $9,000, whatever it was, plus the $1,200, or for us was $1,400 a year, to get us like 5 days of vacation, free vacation, as far as room rentals go. Now that doesn't count your plane ticket, doesn't count transportation, gas, no. It's just a hotel stay. But you could go to Hawaii. It's like, you can go to Hawaii or out of the country, and you just get these you just use your points. If you don't have points, you get the cheaper rates. I'm going, the amount of times I do nothing, it would take me a long time just to catch up to that $8,000 or $9,000 initial fee, and then the $1,200, $1,400 a year. I go, this doesn't make sense. So of course we're doing the 2-hour tour. He's trying to sell it. And I'm like, listen, love you, but yeah, it's not for us. So we got there Monday. Tuesday was the tour. Did our 2-hour tour. Took us up to one of the rooms. Yes, exact room that we are renting now. It's a hotel room. Okay. And they show you all the stuff, and so that was our deal. Wow, thanks. So at least that's over with. So we end up going, let's go down to the strip area of Vegas, and we had a rental car, and get the rental car in New Mexico, because we stayed in New Mexico for a few days, and I thought when we come back, we'll be coming through here anyways, let's just get the rental car here. Makes more sense because we took the RV up there. We can, in the place that we stayed at, we just left the RV there. Take the car. The car happens to be the same exact van that my wife has that we're having all this trouble with. Who finally called, yeah, we'll buy it back from you, Lemon Law. Okay. So we rent the same van. 2022 model, not 2021. Okay. Exact, identical, plug-in hybrid, the whole thing. Wow, how ironic. Sir, would you like to spend $30 a day and buy our insurance? I'm like, I'm going to have this thing for about 10 days total. Another $300 to add your insurance to it when I'm paying my own. And I'll just use mine if I need it, which I've never needed it in a rental car, but no thanks. I'll just use my own. Okay. We're traveling somewhere. Bang! Rock hits the windshield. Bam! Evelyn, oh my God, look! Oh shit, 2 cracks. Son of a bitch. And at next stop, I get out, look at it. If this pen represents, from here to here, the entire windshield of the front of the car, windshield, and over here is my wife's side, right, passenger, and this edge of this pen is the edge of the windshield. I want you to guess, in this whole giant spot, where that effing rock hit. Right at the edge. If it was a quarter of an inch further out, would have missed the thing. See a little rock, little pebble in the street that gets hit, gets in the tire treads of the car in front of you or whatever. In this case, it was a pickup truck coming at us. Not on an interstate highway, but it was some road. Could have been a highway, but nonetheless, and it must have, it's New Mexico, it's deserty, there's rocks and stuff. Got in the tread of this truck coming at us. So it's coming at us, we're coming at him, of course, 2 different lanes. And it just, boom, there it goes. I think I even saw the thing like bouncing, and it hit just right at the very, very edge. If it was a sliver to the right more, we would have missed the whole, it would have just not, it may have hit the little metal pillar and call it, see ya. Nope, hits it, cracks the window. All right, let me go find some super glue at a gas station so I can try to at least stop it from getting all crazy. Last thing I want to do is get to freaking Las Vegas. And, cop, sir, it's cops everywhere. Bicycle cops, car cops, walking cops, sir, that crack's more than 6 inches long, I have to write you up. I'm like, no, let me just try to stop this thing. And it worked for the most part. And then it started a little more, but it never had an issue, brought it back, everything was good. So, back to the Las Vegas story. Let's go to the Strip, go see some stuff, and Evelyn's like, oh, let's go in this casino hotel here. There's a supposedly a real awesome garden thing you can walk through outside. All right, well, fine. We're walking, and they've got like the main walkways through the casino where all the games and stuff are on the right and left. That way, if you're with kids and a family, you can go through there legally without getting yelled at. But if you stop for 1 effing second, and you have kids in tow, sir, ma'am, please, stop, kids stop. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Anyways, we're walking, and there's a roulette table. Immediately closest to the aisle that we're walking down. They're not quite open. I see her counting the chips and doing her little thing, getting ready to open. It's during broad daylight, middle of the day, lunchtime or something. And I look at the screen. Look at my screen! Wow. Oh, I don't have it on this phone. And on the screen is most of the numbers that I got on the license plates. The one license plate in particular, and then the other license plate with the same numbers differently. Didn't have all of them, but had, there's the 78, there's the 789, there's the 89, there's the 9, there's the 22, that whole thing. And I go, wow, what's the chances of way more than half of the numbers, like pretty much all my numbers, sitting there saying, the hot numbers are here and the most recent ones, and I'm going, holy shit, there's all my numbers. Are you open? No, not yet, sir. Soon? Yeah, I'm counting. Okay. Evelyn, take the kids out, do your little thing out there. I'm going to sit here and just chill for a minute. Okay, we're open. So I start playing, and I start winning. I'm playing with $10 minimum bet. I'm playing with dollar chips, so you have to do 10 bets, so to speak. And I only had, 7, 8, 9, 2, 2, and then I seem to think, okay, because the number was 222, and I go, well, is it a 2? So I'll play 2, but then I saw 20 up there, and I go, oh, well, maybe the 2 maybe I'll do both. So I added the 2 and the 20, and then 7, 8, 9, 22, right? So 2, 7, 8, 9. One of my special numbers was 13 that I always play. And then I just had to add that in there. And then the license plate stuff, 2, 2, 2, and 20. So that's 7. And you need a $10 minimum bet. So I had $3 extra, you know. So I was maybe double stacking on some of them, whatever. So I started winning. But I'm playing dollars. So like you win, you basically get 35, I think, times your money. So I'm playing $10 and oh, I just won 35 or whatever it was. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm up a little bit. Okay, here comes the kid. Because I was waiting for a while for them to open. So, oh, here comes Evelyn and the kids. They stop for a second. And, of course, the lady, you can't stop. You got kids. You got to keep going. You can't stop. I can't even talk for a second. No, can't talk. Keep going. And apparently they just lifted the mask mandate in Vegas in recent times. Thank God for that, because that would have not worked out well for me. I just, no way. And by the way, they did it on the airlines too, and all the leftists are freaking out. The 35-year-old judge, Trump-appointed, Tampa, Florida baby, has ruled against the CDC, F you, or the transportation thing, whatever, F off. So, that's another story. So anyway, so I'm like, okay, I gotta go, I guess. So I'll cash out, and I cashed out, and the little bit of money I made, I'm out of here. So then later that night, I think it was the same night or maybe the next night, I'm at a different hotel. Actually, no, I was during the day. Same story. Hey, take the kids over here. I go, all right, I'll be in this hotel playing this. So I'm trying to find the machine. The only one they've got is a digital machine. It's still roulette, and I go, well, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm going, well, I'm not really seeing those numbers like I did yesterday, but what the hell? Play the same set. So I'm playing, hey, you know, like $60. I think I had $60 worth of, you know, money in there. And these two ladies sit down next to me. It's just us three, and they're not sure how to play. So they're kind of, can we watch you for a minute? Yeah, I'll explain it. You know, I explain it simple. And oh, I won. Yeah, cool. You know, miss, won. Okay, I'm up. I'm over $100 already. Dang, all right. Lady's having trouble. The one lady. I go, I think I know what it is. I'm like, you have to bet the minimum, and the minimum here is $15, not 10. So that means you have to place $15 worth of bets. You can stack them up on one number if you want to, but oh, okay, she still couldn't get it. I said, you know what? I'll skip this next round, and I'll just watch over you for a second and see what you're doing. And then, you're not betting enough. That was the problem. Oh, 8 hits to the board. The one I didn't play, helping this lady. There's another win. I'm up like $160, I think. 140, 160 off my 60. And I would have had another, whatever, $35 on top of that had I played. But I stopped to help this poor lady. And then they played one more round and then they left. I go, not them, but I'm like, damn it. Me, myself, you son of a bitch. You shouldn't have helped her. You should have played, you know. That's the greed. It's like, no, it was fine. They learned how to play, whatever. I'm still up, so all right, time to go. So, I mean, I'm not talking like I'm, you know, paid for my vacation, but I was up. You know, the numbers worked. I got the numbers. I told Evelyn when it happened. I'm sitting there driving. I'll go, hey, I think I just got the numbers for roulette right now. She goes, oh, really? I go, yeah. I'm talking to her in the car about it. Sure as shit. They were hitting, man. Real nice. So, anyways, been gone for 3 weeks, and I decided to drone some more of the mountain in New Mexico that I usually go to. Some area that maybe I hadn't quite been to yet. You know, kind of close to one of the areas that I've been to, but not really. So I'm droning and whatever. And I meant to bring 2 of them. So I've got essentially 3 drones. I've got a real cheap one. It's called the DJI Mavic 2 Mini, or DJI Mavic Mini 2. It's about this big. And nice little drone, goes very far. It flies for about 25 minutes, 24 minutes, typically. 300. Well, the drone itself is about 350. The whole package is about 500 and something. So I brought that one, and then I brought my second most expensive one, which is about at the time was probably about $1,200 or $1,300, and that was the DJI Mavic 2 Zoom. And I like that one because that's where I found that cave with the artifacts just laying in there that I showed a long time ago. And I may have it sitting here. I do. For those who are new and never have any clue what I'm talking about, I still have that old photo. It's amazing. Here it is. And you can see some pottery right here. There's 2 of them. This one has a lid sealing it or something on top. It kind of looks indented a little bit. I wonder if that's one of those things they smash, like, corn, or make cornmeal or whatever. Then there's this thing, and I go, oh my gosh, that's leather. It's the color of leather. It's leather. And I've got some different angles. I'm quite certain it's a leather pouch. This one I thought might have been a second leather pouch that has a cord tied on the top of it. But it might be a rock that just has a crack on the top. I'm not sure. This, I believe, is a turtle shell. If you follow the circle here, this is some kind of drawing, I believe, on a blanket. You can see the coloration a little bit. And you can see the folds, like how it's hiding something. And this to me looks like one of these urns or whatever it is on its side. Like it's poking out a little bit maybe. And this blanket, I think, they just covered some stuff. That's my take on this. I can't prove that until I go in there. But this is an extremely hard area just to get to. And then once you get to it, you're not just walking in. You've got to rappel down a deadly, weird cliff thing. There's nothing to... I mean, that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm not messing with that one. But the moral of this story was I had Dick Algar, and I think Ed Reardon did it at the same time, remote view this area, generally speaking, where that cave, again, it's kind of close by. It's all relative. 2 miles away is close by, so is 3 miles away, but nonetheless, generally close. And Ed Reardon drew a couple of things about this beautiful outside area. He really didn't get anything. Dick Algar has this crazy story about this guy from, he's of noble blood. This is 2 years ago, by the way. I had him remote view this. He's of 50% noble blood. He's on the run. He's looking for something. He's got the map. He's got the coordinates. He's hiding this thing. I see them lifting and placing rocks, hiding stuff. I see them wrapping this golden tablet thing, pure gold. It's very heavy, in a cloth. And then they tie that cloth inside of a leather satchel thing, and they tie that off. And I'm going, there's a leather satchel inside this effing cave, man. So I was pretty excited about that. Well, the last page of that remote viewing session from 2020, January 2020, is sound of buzzing, whirring, drone sound, wind, something, out of sight, out of range, down, down, down. J-Snip, don't lose that drone. So I intended on bringing 2, the more expensive, really expensive one I have, it has a heat camera, FLIR camera on it. I had no need for it. So I go, I don't want to take it. I'll just take the 2. The cheap one and the mid-range one. Somehow, I forget the mid-range one home. Completely forget the whole case and all. Just left it behind. How stupid. Well, at least I got the mini. And I tell myself, well, if you lose your drone or something bad happens, at least it's very easy to replace, cheap. And I thought, yeah, maybe that's a blessing in disguise. I can do everything I need to do with this drone anyways. It'll be fine. So I go to this, again, new area, and I'm droning, go to another area, drone some more, and I'm got 20% battery, I think, or 20 something, maybe around 20, 25. I think it starts beeping at 25. Hey, low battery, return to home, and I'm like, no, cancel. I'm watching, I know what the battery's at, cancel. I'm gonna fly around a little bit longer. And yeah, it was kind of windy out there. But the wind had nothing to do with this. So I fly around the peak of this one little area at the very top. There's no way to even get up there, by the way, but that's why I want to drone it. If you can't get to it, I want to see what's out there. And I don't know if I'm down to 10% or whatever, but it's like I'm physically close to it. Like, it's only 200 feet in front of me, but it's up probably, 700 feet, whatever. And I'm thinking I could have this down here in 30 seconds or 30 seconds. It's not going to eat up, 10% battery in 20 seconds. Well, you know, again, it's 25, 20. I think when it got down to 10. And it was right around the time I go, okay, time to bring it back. Automated landing engaged. The cancel is dimmed out. Can't kill cancel. Confirm, and it's counting down 10, 9, 8, like it does, but there's no way to cancel out by hitting it like I could before. Nope. We're landing. Automatic landing engaged. FU. And I'm still live streaming it to my iPad, essentially watching this, as I usually do. As it backs itself up slightly, and I was still looking down at the camera, because I'm like, well, where's it going? You know, I'd like to aim the camera down so I can see where this thing's about to land. And it lands on top on this little bush thing that was sticking out, crashes essentially, and flips over. And I got this little side view like this on the ground, like looking down the camera. You know, like it's upside down, and the camera's like looking up. Like it couldn't flip over if I tried. It doesn't matter. I couldn't start it back up anyways because it already told me F you. So the drone is down. The drone is lost. It's over. And I'm going, son of a bitch, Dick Allgaier 2 years ago. In the trips that I've made out there briefly in the last 2 years, which were very briefly, I remembered what he said. And that was, the funny thing was that same exact drone, I was out there with my friend Bill, I think this was last year, early last year, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'll drone this little spot. Well, we get up, we're just kind of going up the mountain to get to somewhere, and then there's a spot where you could pull over 2 or 3 cars, potentially, vehicles, and there's this old Jeep up there, and we're like, oh, someone's up here. And I'm like, you know, wonder what they're doing, you know, so let's look around. Well, I before I can even say anything, practically, I see like a light shining out a half mile out, way out in this like bluff area. And I'm going, oh shit, someone's making a signal, a mirror. And I'm thinking maybe they're in trouble. So I end up sending, I think I had I had the expensive drone that time. And it's got attachments. One of the attachments is a loudspeaker. Now, I can't hear them, but I can say a message, record it real quick, hit play, and it will play it to them. So I fly over there to just ask, you know, are you okay? You know, hey, we saw you over there. Is everything, you know? So I record it. I didn't realize, and I'm like, I better, you know, it's way out in the middle of nowhere. I better turn the volume up on this thing. That effing thing is loud. So me and Bill are watching the guy on the screen. And I'm like, hey, we're just checking on you. Want to make sure you're okay. Well, as soon as, you know, a normal person's not going to expect a drone, which is, you know, 5 feet above them, to blur out some loudspeaker noise. No one's expecting that. So this guy was like there, and he's kind of looking up at the drone and looking at us way out there. So I record real quick. Hey, we were just checking on you. Make sure you're okay. I saw the signal. And as soon as I hit play, it blurs out, and he goes, oh, you see? I still have the video. It'd take me too long to find it right now, but I should show it to you because it's funny. And he's like, oh! I'm like, oh shit, sorry. And I'm like, hey, oh, sorry, we're just making sure you're okay. You know, thumbs up if you're okay. He's like, yeah, it's okay. You know, see you later. So I flew the drone back, off we went. So it was kind of in the same area. I had the mini drone with Bill, and I'm like, hey, there's a cave opening way up there, like a bush was covering the entrance, but it's winter time, so there's no leaves. I can see it. And he had some binoculars. We're looking. He goes, son of a bitch, I think you're right. All right. I got that little mini drone. And it was cold and windy. I send it over there, and sure enough, there's a cave opening, you know, but I'm like looking into it. I don't see anything. So I'm kind of buzzing around the area a little bit. And, you know, again, 20-something%, this thing's beeping. Okay. At that point, I'm like, well, the same freaking little drone. Let me go back down and just look at this one little thing on the way back. Just take me, you know, 30 seconds. All right, so I do that. And the wind's coming, headwind into the drone now that I need to bring it back to me. And it's pretty strong. So the drone is fighting, you know, this wind to get back to me at a decent speed. And it's cold outside. And lithium-ion batteries do not like cold weather. They deteriorate their capability of, you know, whatever their normal length of time they should last gets cut, you know, unless you have battery warmers. Well, this little thing doesn't have that. So I'm literally watching it, 20%, 19%, 18%, 17, 16, 15, 14. I'm going, what the? Holy shit. So automatic landing, engaged. No, cancel. I'm over like this big ravine thing, and cancel. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna fly it to us, but I'm gonna descend. That way, if this thing dies on us, because we're in like a ravine, they call it like this. We're at the top, but it's like this, and I'm coming from this way to go to us up here. Well, I figured if it falls out of the sky, boom, it's gonna probably break, you know. So I'm like, well, I'll go down, which is easier on the propellers and the motors and the batteries because you're going down, you know, you're not fighting it to stay up. So I'll come towards us, but go down and then just hug the ground once I get towards the ground, you know, 2 or 3 feet, and just stay that distance and come back up to us. That way, if it dies, boop, a couple feet, not going to hurt it. I get that thing almost back to us, and it did it. Nope, we're down. Boom. Automatic landing engaged, F you. And I'm like, oh, I think it's close enough. So Bill goes down. I see it. And he grabs it. He's like, dude, if this was just a few seconds, even a couple seconds, it would have been unreachable, unretrievable. I go, holy shit. I go, Dick Algar, remote viewed this last year. He told me, be careful. So I thought maybe that was it. And then I lost it. Same damn drone. I lost it this time. It's gone. And I do have some footage of that. No, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. I can get it. And since it's, since you've missed me for so long, 3 weeks, I'm sure you won't mind me showing you the video of it. It's going down. I was yelling timber. So this is, I uploaded it, and it was on my iPad. So the iPad has a cache of the video for 2 or 4 gigabytes worth or something, so that if the drone is lost forever like mine is, the little SD card on it, well, there goes all your footage. Well, the last couple of flights, typically it'll save as a cache on the iPad. So it has that streaming quality, which is still good quality. And anyways, I videotape my phone, using my phone against the iPad, so I'm just letting it get a little closer. So this is me, and I don't care about this area. I was droning something new, just looking for something. There's nothing. I could care less if you figured out where this was. These little birds, man, they haul ass, and they're everywhere, and they just fly and zip around like a bat. So where my mouse is, I'm not down here. Like I'm off the screen down here. So it's like, again, it's just a couple hundred feet in front of this. But I'm up a good 700 feet or so. And I know it wants to come home. It's telling me the battery's low. I'm like, all right, I'll take it home. So it stops, automatic landing. I'm like, whoa, no, cancel. How do I cancel? I can't cancel. It's dimmed out. What the hell's going on? So I start aiming down to see, like, what's it doing? What's it gonna do? And it's like, oh, this is a good spot. Boom. It's game over. Game over for the Snipster. But again, it was the cheap one. Thank God. And I remember when I forgot the other one, I go, maybe it was meant to not be brought with me this time. And I'm like, technically I don't really need it. And so that happened. Dick Algar has his remote viewing. He got one right. Took a couple years, but holy shit! And again, it's generally this particular area, whether it's a few miles of area, couple 2-3 miles. That one area I had him do the viewing on, and when I did the viewing, it wasn't that cave by itself. It was the area around there, which is probably a good half-mile radius, honestly. When he remote viewed it. But when I look at the map and go, okay, well, that's where that area is, and here's where I was over here, and there's that thing over there, and I'm like, generally speaking, it's still pretty close. You know what I mean? Like, okay. And so his story about this guy hiding this golden tablet thing, it's a very important golden tablet. It's got his family crest or seal on it. He told me, he goes, Joe, just FYI, if you find this, you're not going to be able to keep this. You will have to give it back to the rightful owner. Just going to tell you that now. And I go, okay. So would be cool to find, and then maybe find the rightful owner. Hey, got a family crest here. Tell me the story about this. How the hell did you have it? Where did it go? Tell me the story. Oh yeah, we had Uncle Willie, third generations, in the year 1812, and he left, Germany and went over to New Mexico, and God, I don't even know, because I don't know what the story is. Nor does Dick Algar. We didn't know the story. He just saw what was happening with it, and that it was this important thing. And I go, oh, okay. So, anyways, I'm back. Got back a couple days ago, and just catching up on stuff. I got soloed in the helicopter. I got all my flight lessons done, everything I need. Now I just have to schedule my checkout or check ride with the FAA examiner, and it will require me to get my CFI trainer guy to come back one more time to just give me like a final sign-off thing, I guess, which I then go upload a document to the FAA site, this other site that's attached to the FAA. He goes on his end, does something, then they get it. Okay, yep, you're ready, Joe. Schedule your check ride. That's kind of where I'm at. So I got the helicopter back at the end of March, and I flew it all the way down from inside Georgia down here, and that was one of my solo flights all the way down. And that was kind of interesting and uneventful, but got it back. And then we got to leave tomorrow or the next day, whatever it was, to go on our vacation for, nearly 3 weeks. So I was like, oh my God, I can't even fly this thing. I can fly it, but I can't fly it. So I got back yesterday and, 2 days ago. And then, Sunday night we got back. So Monday I went and flew it for a little while. And, I'm like, I got my checklist. I'm going, it's been a few weeks. Like, don't forget your shit, man. Here's my checklist. Don't use the damn checklist. Yep, I remember. Yeah, okay, yep. Turn that on and on. The battery was kind of low. And I'm like, oh, man, is this thing even going to start over here? And it was like, I go, oh, shit. Come on, baby. So I did the old, you start it just for a second, let off, start again, and then it fired up. Oh, God, thank God. Fired up. All right, she's good. And turn the alternator on. Yep, everything's good. Charged right up. And I went and flew for a little while. Not too long. And I've got to practice the maneuvers I've now learned that I'm going to have to show the FAA examiner. So I need to practice those maneuvers, and I can do it by myself. I don't have to have the CFI with me to do that. I'm already done. I've checked off all the boxes. So that's cool. Now again, I've got to study some of the stuff I know they're going to ask me as an oral exam, the examiner, and just make sure I know my shit so that when I schedule this, he doesn't fail me. Oh, you failed the oral, we're not even going for a flight. Or you passed the oral, but you effed this maneuver up, and this is one of those maneuvers. I'm sorry, Joe, I'm gonna have to fail you on this. I'm sorry, you have to reschedule. And when you reschedule, I gotta call the CFI again. Hey, we have to do an hour, 2 hour flight instruction because I effed up. Okay, I'll either have to go to him, he'll have to come to me, sign off again, examiner thing again, check ride. So I'm trying to get myself on a level right now where I pass in the first time. So far, everything that I've been doing with this, it has been, okay, you did it. Did the written exam, passed it, I studied, and I'm using the same kind of study material for the oral part of it. So I think I'll be good there. And then I'll be, hopefully get my pilot license, my private, and then I'm like, man, I could take up passengers. I could really go have some fun. I don't have this thing weighing on my shoulders. Whoa. It's out of the way. It's like when you go, I gotta study for my exam. My midterm exam's coming up. I gotta study. No. It's like that. I'm like, dude, I'm 44 years old. I haven't studied for anything in a long time. I don't want to. I like my life right now. It's easy. Settle down. I don't want any drama, any study for this. No. But you have to. It's a helicopter, and you got to have a damn license. Let's get real. So here I am studying. Remember. Oh my God, this is so stupid. I hate it. Yet, it's important. It's stupid, but it's very important. You have to know this stuff. There's a lot of jackasses who have their licenses that should not be flying anything in the sky. And he was telling me stories of guys who became examiners and CFIs they would train people to fly like him. He goes, and I wouldn't pass them before they were even a CFI. I wouldn't pass them, and then they went to got another FAA examiner, and they finally got passed the check ride. He goes, I wouldn't pass them because a couple things that were, they could kill themselves or crash the helicopter. He goes, and guess what? What? They crashed the helicopter twice after even being a CFI. Crashed the helicopter twice. Like one helicopter crashed, destroyed it. A little bit of time went by. Went into another helicopter, crashed it. And I think he was working for 2 different flight schools, or maybe the same flight school, as a CFI instructor would, and crashed the effing helicopters. 2 times, destroyed both of them. So he's like, I'm not passing people unless they pass my standards. And my standards are what I figured the FAA are telling me. Here's my standard checklist that I need to make sure they can do these things. He goes, but I failed probably at least 30% of the people. And they're like, well, we kind of want you to fail 20%. That's doable. He's like, what do you mean it's doable? These people can't fly. I'm failing them because they can't do this. What do you mean there's even a percentage? Well, we'd like to see that 20% failure rate's okay or less, but 30%, you're just failing too many people. And it didn't work out after a while. And he goes, I've done this for a long time, as an examiner, even, for the FAA. He goes, I did it for over 25 years. He goes, I love you guys, but I've had enough. And so he quit. This is a long time. This is like many, many, many years ago. But he's still a CFI, so he can train me. So I've got one of the best guys in the world that is safety, precision, do it right, no, don't do that, teaching me. And I knew he had to be good because the guy that sold me the helicopter could fly the shit out of that thing very, very well. And I'm like, well, this actually worked out. The guy from Tennessee, I can't get a hold of him now. He was going to come down and train me. I go, but your guy Randy says he could do it. He'd try it at least with me, unless things don't work out. And then I'm realizing this guy's got probably 25,000 hours of helicopter time. And in my particular helicopter make and model is a lot of that 25,000 hours. Maybe the majority of it. He goes, Joe, I've probably bought and sold 100 at least of these during my time down in Florida when I used to do the schools, and I used to ferry them across the country for other manufacturers, like other people that bought them. And he goes, I've personally probably bought and sold at least 100 of these things. He goes, yeah, I've got some time in it. I mean, he would just get in this thing and show me a maneuver I haven't learned yet, didn't know, And he's like, okay, let's do that. We're going to go spend some time. I'll show you this maneuver. Okay. And he would just get in this thing and fly it so well. Like he just got done flying, 1,000 hours and finished yesterday, his 1,000th hour, in a row. And I'm like, Randy, you don't own one of these anymore. You haven't owned one in a really long time. You don't have anybody with one of these that you trained until I came into your life recently. It's been a long time since you've flown one of these. He goes, yeah. I'm like, every single maneuver you're showing me is like what I guess would be like textbook perfect. Just incredible. He's like, well, I go, I wish I could be half as good as you. He goes, well, you can't. Not even half. He goes, because in order for you to be half as good as me, you have to have the time and experience that I have, to be fair. And I've got, 25,000 hours flying. So even half of that, right? He goes, it's not realistic. I go, well, I guess you're right. But nonetheless, I got one of the best guys in the world, especially with this particular helicopter, training me. So all these little bad habits or things, don't do that. You gotta always do that. I got that guy. So what I hope is I do my check ride, and the examiner's like, listen, I've been doing this for 15 years now. Joe, you're a hell of a pilot, man. You really nailed all these maneuvers. I mean, really, really good. I've passed guys that, borderline shouldn't have been passed. That's what I'm hoping is the response from my guy. And I'm just going to be like, well, it's not me. I'm not just some badass pilot, because it's not. You ever hear of a guy named Randy so-and-so? No. Yeah, probably before your time. Because you've been retired. This guy's like 70 years old, or in his 70s. but still smart and, you know, intelligent. Very, you know, he's that dude. And he also did my annual for my helicopter because he's an A&P and an AI, or yeah, AI, I think. And so he was able to do that too. And just everything just worked out really, really well. And we were just having a problem with the alternator light coming on, the battery light. And we were like, well, we got a brand new alternator. And, you know, let's change that, change the wiring out. Let's do this, put a new switch in. Let's get another regulator. We got the old regulator, put that one back in. It's still doing it, like, intermittently. And he's like, you know, I said, man, the only thing we haven't changed is, I know it's new, but is the alternator. He's like, yeah, that's about it, huh? So his friend happened to have one for an airplane. It's the exact same alternator in 24 volt, 28 volt. Yep, perfect. So he goes, can't hurt to try it. I said, all right. So he took the new one off, put the used one on, and I've only had a couple flights since we did the used one. No, 1, 2, 3. Because I did 2 different flights on that same day the other day. And one was short. I don't know. They were both maybe 6/10 of an hour, both flights. So the weird thing is sometimes when I was getting trained, I could easily be flying for more than an hour, and then the light never went on. And then out of nowhere it came on, comes right back on, flip the switch, comes on again a few seconds later, flip it, comes on 10 minutes later. And then, I just had an hour flight, nothing happened. So I'm not 100% sure the alternator fixed it yet, but it has not had the light come on. It's been working fine. I'm hoping that's what it was. And we'll see, you know. So anyways, it's a big old update, 45, 46 minutes, 47 coming on. And yes, I've been paying attention to everything, and the Hunter Biden laptop, and this weird video of Joe Biden and some girl thing. And I'm looking at his head, and I'm going, I don't know if this is shenanigans, you know, video, like edited. It might be. You know, so those of you posting that little pictures, or I'm not sure yet that that's him. But, you know, I guess we'll find out. And again, with the laptop and the Congress, the Republicans are trying to put it in the record. And now I heard today the Democrats, in particular their staffers, are refusing to do their duty and grab stuff and enter stuff in the computer like they're supposed to enter it into the record. They're refusing to do their jobs. We don't want to enter the Hunter Biden laptop stuff into the record. When we all see what's on that laptop, everyone's going to go, you effing Democrats fought tooth and nail to hide that. And then you wouldn't put it in the record. And we all see, now we've seen what's on it. The Democratic Party is finished. It's already finished. So, one other thing. Elon Musk, Twitter, shareholder thing. He could reinstate Trump ultimately. And I could just imagine Trump coming back to Twitter. And then all of a sudden, the 17th letter stuff. Exactly these words on Twitter. My fellow American, boop, boop, boop. But, Tory says, wouldn't it be funny if Joe Biden's the one that uses those words? That would flip people out. Oh my God, he just quoted the thing on the 17th letter? Yep. And that girl talks about through the looking glass, which is interesting. Looking glass technology. But she has been right pretty much all the time. So when she made that comment a couple of times, I'm going, ooh, it's not going to be Trump who says it. Or maybe it will. I don't know. And I guess that's about it for now. So I'll see if I can get maybe time. You know. Oh, well, I was going with that the laptop mainly. The main thing I want to tell you is Woo Woo Dude's the Hunter Biden timeline. Some event with Hunter Biden we're waiting on. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, I can feel it getting closer, and I'm like, yeah, so can I. It's going to come, because if this laptop thing goes somewhere, it is exactly the scenario that needs to play out for XYZ event to happen with Hunter Biden and then his father. So I'm going, whoa, okay, it's looking like that timeline's about to be, check the box, and then maybe I'll do another separate video because this one's so long. But Dick Algar's and his team, the crypto viewing guys, got their channel terminated out of nowhere. And he's like, I was trying to skate through the lines of, hey, don't talk about this, don't do that. And he goes, but I guess they got me anyways. He goes, so we got a new channel. So I'll probably just do a second video and just say, hey, it's in the description box. There's our new channel link. Click on it, subscribe, kind of a thing. Maybe I'll put it in this video description box too, just for fun. All right, take it easy.